and maybe you could contrast them a little bit, their styles.
Well, I think they're both, they complement each other. How good is Slay, we'll know at the end of the year. Based on what he's had to do this year, he's done pretty good. He has a chance to get better, in a lot of areas. But he has a skill set that I like because, he has really good feet. He's got good size, and he loves to play corner. And those are good attributes.
How much is having Jonathan on the other side help, and how much of it is just the fact that Darius is really good at what he does?
Well, having Jonathan on the other side, you got to decide who you're going to throw at. So, you're probably going to throw more at Darius right now than you do at Banks. And Banks has a lot of tape showing that if you throw at him, he'll make a play. And Darius is building a body of work that's similar to that. So they are a good group. Together, they're a pretty good pair.
Darius was, I think, originally signed with y'all, had to go JUCO, and he came back. What kind of development did you see over that time that he was at ICC?
He played. He played football. I was telling him yesterday, when I first saw him, when we approved him, I really thought he might be a safety because he had a safety's body. I didn't know that he would be as good at cornerback because usually that body type sometimes ends up a safety. But you don't really know until you get a chance to coach one and see what they can really do.
So over those 2 years at ICC, is that when you saw, he can do the cornerback now?
Well,
or was it after he got here you saw him?
After he got here.
Okay.
I'm one of these guys that always believe a guy can't play corner. I believe everybody says he's a cover corner. Well, I don't necessarily believe that. So I always feel like a guy's a DB first, then he becomes a corner. So I always thought he was a defensive back when he was at IJC, and quite honestly, he showed me he was a corner, an SEC corner, about midway through the season last year.
Would that have been the Georgia game? I'm sorry. Would that have been the Georgia game?
No, it was before that. It was early on. He just wasn't consistent, but he showed me he had corner skills.
Anybody else feel Darius?
An SEC corner is a consistent player, and that's why I felt bad kind of at the end of the year because I knew I had 3 SEC corners and I could only play 2 at a time. And, it was hard to take one. Once Corey got well, it was kind of hard to take him off the field. It was easy when his hand was hurt.
How are, we talk about guys, Banks and Slay, obviously, how are Calhoun and Love coming along now? You're working in their snaps now, too.
Yeah, they are. We've had a chance to play them, and I think that's how you really tell if they can play corner, when they get a chance to play in games. And I think they're moving forward. Like I told the guy, I really love Calhoun and Love. I just want their progress to move forward. But you only get better playing. And but we've been able to play them in all 4 games, and I like that.